Is it possible to escape social media? There seems to be no respite from our cell phones, iPods, Facebook, and Twitter, not even in church. Is the person sitting next to you texting someone or reading about the tribulations of the Apostle Paul?
Or are they catching up on the latest church info from the person in the pulpit? Will Jesus text? Keith Bowles looks at social media and the church.
When I was a kid, the thought of having a Bible on something like a cell phone was as far out there as the Jetsons. Just pure science fiction. But now social media is interacting with everything we do, and now it's moving into churches. So I wonder, if this had been around, would Jesus text?
We are missionaries to this area, and if social media is the way to reach them, then we want to use that.
If you go looking for churches through the phone book, you will see that along with addresses and phone numbers, the listing generally includes a web page or email address.
We found out that about 80% of this generation will look at your website before they ever look into your foyer of your church.
Social media, i.e. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, blogging, etc., has exploded. Now, looking at the numbers, you can tell that churches almost have to tap into this resource, especially with young people.
I use it to communicate with everyone, and I look up things, and it's just my way of life.
I tapped into the network of Central Baptist Church in Jonesboro. I spoke with young people, youth, and college pastors, Jeff Stotts, the worship pastor, and if I wanted to know what senior pastor Archie Mason was doing, I had his Twitter, his blog, and email.
A little bit strange for a church to have a fan page. Right now we have 1,803 fans.
Social media, Twitter, Facebook, all these things on your portable device, they're a tool.
Electronic tools that are starting to replace the printed word.
At the service here at Central Baptist, there were a lot of people looking at the scriptures in their Bible, but there were a lot of people looking at them on their cell phones.
Would you stand with me for the public reading of Scripture?
I have seen people on their phones, but there are a lot of people using the Bible apps now.
It's the same, but not really. You still get the same thing out of it, but not the same because it's not all the page flipping through.
So if we have services on the net and television, scriptures on our handhelds, pastor blogs, tweets from the youth leaders, and mass emails, why do we need churches at all?
There are things that you just do not get from sitting at home watching TV or on the computer.
That's the whole part of the gospel, is about the fellowship that you get to experience with other believers and encouraging one another throughout the week.
We don't want people just to be dedicated to their phone. You're not going to be able to serve by watching something online. You're not going to be able to pray with someone by watching it online.
So it kind of makes you wonder, if all this social media had been around the time of Jesus, would it have been, my friend? Would Jesus text?
Would Jesus use social media?
That's a good question.
I can't think of a reason he wouldn't text. Texting is not a bad thing.
I mean, he's Jesus, so he'd know exactly what to say, and he'd know when to encourage people and keep them updated.
And if texting would reach one person, I think, yeah, he'd send that text message, or he'd Facebook them, or he'd Twitter them, or whatever he needs to do to get their attention and to reach out to them.
This is part of the culture that we're living in. It's certainly not unbiblical. It's an avenue to someone's heart.
Social media is here to stay. As the pre-computer generation passes, the technology-savvy generations fill the pews, still searching.
And if it's in my 140 characters on Twitter, or it's on my Facebook page, or it's opening a Bible in front of someone, then so be it. I want to use every opportunity possible to get the gospel to them.
Keith Bowles, Region 8 News.
So what do you think?
In tonight's unscientific web poll, we asked, do you think churches should use Facebook and Twitter to reach out to the public? Of those taking part, 3 out of 4, 74% said yes. The remaining 26% said no.
We also posed that question on our Facebook page. Here's some of the feedback that we've received so far. Angela Rosales writes, no, I do not. If people want to go to church, they will go. You cannot pressure anyone about going to church. While Kay Knapp writes, it's a good way to reach out to the masses and into homes for homebound people, too. I would much rather see social networking used for this than for porn. We want to know what you think. You can go to our website at KAIT8.com and click on the loop and become a fan of Region 8 News on Facebook. Then keep watching Region 8 News. We may share some of your feedback on air.
I think Mr. Twitter over here has been twittering or tweeting while the story was going on with people from church, I imagine.
Yeah. It's fun. And you can stay informed. And if you have a question, For the pastor, you can
140 characters or less.
That's exactly right. Shortening what I say these days. Take a look outside right now. We've got 29